I was never terribly structured. What would happen is I'd sit down to write one thing and then something else would happen and I'd start writing that, you know. Especially if you have little kids, you know, they play around, they do things. Then I just do keynotes. But what I tried to do was set an alarm 15 minutes early in the morning or at the end of the day when my day was wrapped up and look back on the day and even write I forced myself with 3 pages, you know, to write 3 pages of, hey, what were the points of the day? What were the big points? And I'd allow myself to scribble them because I was dead exhausted. And I wouldn't worry about it being writing. I would worry much more about my just being able to put the concept down so that later on, if I wanted to go and expand that concept, I could do it. What I found after looking at 20 years of journals at a certain point was the same issues came up again and again and again and again. And every time they came up, whether I cried over them, whether I laughed over them, you never cry the same tears twice. You get a little deeper into the understanding of it. And at a certain point, you get an aha moment. And you say, I get it. This is what I was doing. This is what I was thinking. This was my magical thought at the time. And you have to be willing to share those magical thoughts, as silly as they sound, with your readers. It's a very intimate connection that you have with your readers, especially if you're going to write in the first person. If you're going to write I, you're going to share with them some of the I feelings that are even hard for you to see sometimes. So you have to have a lot of courage to be able to write. But you can't make that decision at the beginning because writing, like everything else, the more you do it, the more you learn about it.